Welcome back. There's a live look outside from the Oregon coast, our In It Spanish Head Resort Hotel camera in Lincoln City. Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. As we celebrate the month of May as Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, our next guest joins us to share her unique perspective. We welcome back the author of Table for 51, Lessons Learned from Sharing Meals Across America, Shari Leid. It's so nice to see you.
It's great to see you too.
Tell me about your family history. You do have a very unique story.
Yes, well, I'm Korean American. I was adopted though by a Japanese American couple. My dad was born in Seattle on Main Street, actually in the basement of a home in 1922. And my mom was born on Bainbridge Island in 1929.
Okay.
And because of their age, when they were living in Seattle, even though they were born there, they were placed into internment camps during World War II.
It's so hard to hear that even,
And it wasn't really that long ago, because we're talking, there is a generation between my parents and I, but my adopted parents, but it's recent history.
It really is.
And my dad was 20, so it really affected the way he saw himself in the world.
Absolutely. Well, and then I imagine that had a big impact on you growing up and your identity now.
Yes, and they say that, the next generation, well, as we know, if we don't handle things ourselves, the next generation usually has to handle it. And you mentioned my book, and that was my travels across the U.S., and part of that was I wanted to rewrite his experience and his belief. And based on his experience, he believed that it wasn't necessarily safe or we would be welcome across the U.S. So I grew up sticking to the West Coast. And so travels across the U.S. was to rewrite that belief and believe I'm welcome everywhere.
Yeah, you can completely understand where he's coming from and yet chart your own path and make your own discoveries.
Yes.
So tell me about how doing these journeys, how your heritage impacted that, and you were able to make some really meaningful connections with people that maybe it was a new experience for them.
Yes, and I tried, I didn't focus on the fact that I was an Asian, or I am an Asian American woman in her mid-50s traveling the U.S. alone, but it's kind of a big deal going to a lot of these small towns where there wasn't anyone who looked like me other than the person in the mirror. And I had one experience in Indiana where I was seated across the woman in Indiana, and she told me I was the first Asian American person or Asian person that she ever sat down with.
Wow.
And that was because of her community, the population wasn't there. But I happily said that she was the first person from Indiana I ever sat with.
There you go.
But I left that meeting and I actually had like tears of joy without even thinking about it. Just that beautiful moment that we were able to share together.
And focusing on the positive that she was there with you. She was willing to put herself out there and make the connection despite maybe how she had been, the experiences that she'd had.
Yes, and sometimes my friends will say, be careful, there's nobody like you if you're going to this place. But I like to think that, well, maybe if there's no one like me, that means I need to be there.
Exactly, exactly. Well, you recently got to MC an event in Seattle for AANHPI Heritage Festival. That must have been so meaningful.
Yes, and now I know how to say Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific
I know,
Islander.
it's a lot of letters, but they're all important.
Yes, I had to say that several times, so now it almost rolls off the tongue. But it was so great because there were a lot of young performers there, and from my parents' experience, where their voices were silenced and they didn't feel comfortable sharing their culture, understand how important sharing all of our cultures and our stories are to understanding and connecting with one another. It was just beautiful to see all these different communities come together, these young people, and be proud of who they were.
Well, and it speaks to what you were saying before about the visibility, you putting yourself in those spaces and sitting across from people. It's got to start there, right, to make any real change.
Yes, and when we hear each other's stories, we understand the why. We spend so much time looking at the what, and we're disconnecting. When we start understanding the why through stories, we start building connection with each other.
And how great is breaking bread with people? I mean, I know this whole sharing meals thing, it's become kind of a powerful tool for you.
Oh, absolutely, and it's evolutionary. Since the dawn of time, sharing food has meant connection, survival, and belonging.
Well, and then you can bring your own culture into it too, right? Discover new dishes and share things from your own heritage that someone else might not know about.
And if you have used chopsticks before, it's a really good way to slow down your eating.
That is so great point.
Yeah.
Great point. Oh my gosh. Well, it's always so nice to see you. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you.
We'll see you again soon. Okay, Shari's book again is Table for 51. We'll have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.